Hello there, welcome back to my views and news. Some new stories for you from Ethiopia. First one, two dangerous speeches were made within the last 24 hours. One by an Oromo and the other by a journalist. The second one cannot be called a speech. It's his views, but inflammatory and hateful views. Thirdly, a protest outside BRICS summit venue in South Africa by Ethiopians, mostly Amharas, chanting slogans against PM Abiy, saying there will be no Ethiopia without Amhara. Firstly, viewers, several social media pages, news outlets, channels are sharing a clip of an Oromo who delivered a speech at a Shinda celebration in Tigray. In Tigray, a Shinda celebration is being held, basically a women's festival. A man from Amhara region contacted me yesterday. He said, Sajid, why do you say that Shinda is a Tigray's festival? It is celebrated in Amhara too. People in Wollo celebrate too. I asked him, is Shinda celebrated in Gondar, Gojam, the way it is celebrated in Makale? Obviously, no. So predominantly, Tigrayans celebrate Ashinda, a festival. When in Makale yesterday, a program was organized by Oromia government to celebrate Ashinda, a delegation from Oromia participated. Delegation representing Oromia government or Oromo people participated. Delegation members were seen meeting with and greeting Sadkan. Sadkan was there too. And one of the delegation members spoke. He delivered a speech. Dangerous speech, I would say. He called for Tigray Oromo alliance against Amharas without naming Amhara. I have a clip of his speech, but before that I want to just elaborate a little what he said. He said the war which has started is a major war. I think he was referring to the armed conflict in the Amhara region. Then he said that there are those who want to impose one language, one religion, and one culture. Time of that is long gone. We Oromos and Amharas, we Oromos and Tigrayans should join hands to counter the forces which want to impose one religion, one language, and one culture. And we should defeat these forces. So without mentioning the word Amhara, he said everything. He invited Tigray to join the fight against Amhara. So question is he calling for political fight, or is he calling for Tigray's participation in the war which is ongoing, in the armed conflict which is ongoing in the Amhara region? Amharas have long been accused of working to impose one language, one culture, one religion. It's not something new. What he was referring to, I think, is the ongoing conflict in the Amhara region. He wants Tigrayans to join Oromos. I have been saying, by the way, after Pretoria deal, that power struggle between Oromos and Amharas was going to start. And then it happened. We saw that. We saw an attempt to divide the church. We saw that Majlis chair was taken from Amhara to Oromia. Attempt to split the church did not succeed, but church is split now because Oromia is not under full control of the church. Tigray has split as well. So that is why partly the agenda is being implemented. And we speculated or we analyzed that it was going to happen in November after the signing of Pretoria deal. Both Tigray and Oromo, Tigray and Oromo region based groups, they want Fano to be defeated militarily. That is why the two did not say a word about peaceful resolution to the conflict in Amhara. So they want the military operation to continue to put an end to the armed resistance movement in the Amhara region. Tigray is playing with its cards close to its chest. Obviously, it wants military operation to continue. At the same time, it wants to create this impression that it is not part of the conflict, it is neutral. And so far, we have no convincing evidence that Tigray is militarily involved in the fight against Fano. Tigray is getting what it wants. It is a return of IDP is going to start to Raya, Koram, Volkai, Tumara Sagade. And then new administration will be elected, which could be Tigrayan, and then referendum. Overall, Tigray is happy with ongoing developments. Oromo is happy too. They know that Amharas are being cornered. Amhara Special Force disbanded, Fano suffering because of military operation. So, new allies. Oromo, senior partner. Tigray, junior partner. Tigrayans were senior partners for decades. Now, I think Tigrayan political elite has agreed to be a junior partner to share power with Oromos. But if Amharas, by the way, Amharas are part of this power corridor too, but not all Amharas. If Amhara hardliners, I would say, people don't like the term Amhara hardliners. If groups in the Amhara, which are part of the armed conflict, if they don't join the government, you'll never see peace in Ethiopia. For lasting peace, you'll have to talk to the groups in Amhara. Now, watch the clip from Tigray showing an Oromo representative speaking, calling for Tigray Oromo alliance against Amharas.
ስለዚህ ከኢትዮጵያ ህዝቦች ጋር ሆነን አሁን ባይላችን የጀመርነውን ይህንን ለማንጠቅ ህዝቡን የጋራ አንድነት እንዳይኖር የሚፈልጉ ጽንፈኛ ኃይሎች በጋራ ሆነን እንታገላለን። ኢትዮጵያ ታብባለች፣ አንድነታችን ይጠነክራል፣ ነፃነታችን ይበለጽጋል፣ እኩልነት ከጣት እስከ ይከበራል፣ ፌዴራሊዝም ከምን ጊዜም በላይ ይከበራል። አመሰግናለሁ።
Secondly, viewers, since yesterday we have been seeing inflammatory posts, hateful content, threats against Abraham Abale, the defense minister, who revealed yesterday how the dispute over Raya, Koram and Volkayet was going to be resolved. He announced the return of IDPs soon. IDPs will start returning, then your administration will be elected, no armed entity will be allowed to operate, and then referendum will be held. The solution is being accepted largely by Tigrayans, though they are against the idea of referendum. They agree with other points, but I think Tigray government has agreed on the point of referendum with the federal government. That is, Abraham Bale made it public yesterday. Amhara are totally rejecting what Abraham Bale said yesterday. Not Amhara government. Amhara government was part of the talks when this solution was agreed by the parties under the auspices of federal government. But Fano and other Amhara groups, they are rejecting this solution. They are criticizing Abraham Bale. Not just criticizing, they are threatening him. Haptamo Yaleo, Ethio 360 journalists threatened Abraham Bale at a program last night. He said that in veiled terms, he said that Abraham Bale could be assassinated. Haptamo should be very careful. I think no one should make people's life vulnerable. This Ethio channel has been accused in the past of spreading hate, banned multiple times on YouTube, but they keep on reappearing. But they're not changing their way of their speech is the same, inflammatory. People watch them. Abraham Bale's proposal or his solution to the conflict between Tigray and Amhara, Volkayet, Amhara, and Koram should be addressed politically. Killing him is not a solution. This is not Abraham Bale who agreed on the points mentioned by him yesterday. Tigray government, Amhara government, federal government all held talks and then they agreed on these points. Abraham just made these points public. Why is he being threatened? If Tigrayans are not happy with this decision, they should ask questions from Tigray interim government. Amharas not happy can ask questions from the Amhara regional government, which were part of discussions. Or federal government can be held accountable, PM Abiy's government. Why just Abraham Bale? Just because he's a Tigrayan? I think Haptamo should have been careful. When you imply something, it means you're backing if assassination happens, or you're backing the groups who might be considering assassinating Abraham Bale. Last week was a protest being held in Johannesburg, South Africa, where BRICS summit is ongoing. Ethiopia wants to be part of BRICS. Eritrean president has arrived there. PM Abiy, not seen so far. Maybe he'll be there too. Before his arrival, protests started there outside the venue. People chanting slogans against PM Abiy, saying that PM Abiy is killing Amharas. And they're saying there's no Ethiopia without Amhara. That is what Tigrayans were saying too, no Ethiopia without Tigray. But later they agreed to make some compromises. Now Amhara said no Ethiopia without Amhara. This slogan, when people raise this slogan, Amharas, the other ethnic groups say that Amharas want to dominate Ethiopia. They believe that they are the ones who are real Ethiopians, and real Ethiopia means Amhara. So those who protest should be careful, because they are alienating other ethnic groups who are in search of opportunities to say that these Amharas want to monopolize, they want to impose, as the Oromo speaker said, they want to impose one religion, one culture, one language in Ethiopia. But protest started, small protest, maybe a few dozen were there to attend the protest. If PM Abiy appears there in Johannesburg to attend the summit, we'll see more protests against the Prime Minister there. Watch a clip from the protest in Johannesburg, South Africa. Thanks for watching.
We urge the BRICS member nations to pay attention what is happening to Amhara people in Ethiopia. Amhara people has been targeted by Abiy Ahmed for more than 4 years. Children has been killed. Older people has been killed. More than 3 million people of Amhara displaced. Amhara is the pillar of Ethiopia. Without Amhara, there will not be Ethiopia. Ethiopia and Amhara, they go along. Ethiopia with